clients are coming to me saying, well, I want to be able to make more revenue. Well, that's nice. I mean, but it really is like, what's that going to do for you? We're having that additional revenue. But what is really the desire underneath that? But really understanding where they want to go. That's so important, because once I understand where they want to go and what they want to be able to do with their life, what do they want their business to accomplish? Once we understand that, then it's like we can actually get there and we'll be able to help them get what they want.
Welcome to the Profit Advisor podcast, where we separate coaching conversations from real advisory and business outcomes. My name is Malcolm Reid. I'm the CEO of Pro Global Business Advisors and the mastermind and creator of the Profit Advisor platform. Now, each episode is a real operator breakdown. We talk about what broke, what changed, and the systems that made results predictable. So if you want growth that survives without you, then you are in the right place. And what this series does, it brings together business leaders and innovators to explore insights, challenges, and strategies that shape their work. So if you're ready for meaningful conversation that goes beyond the surface, we're ready to jump in. And at this moment, I would love to welcome today's conversation. And today I have with me Robert McFarland from Transformational Impact. And his work is making a huge impact in the coaching and advisory space. So Robert, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here with you, Malcolm.
So Robert, where are you actually tuning in from?
I'm here in Virginia. I'm in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, about 2 hours southwest of Washington, D.C.
Ah, okay. So you guys were like dealing with a whole bunch of frigid weather for a minute, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right, Robert. Well, let's dive right in. You ready?
Let's do it.
Cool. So to start off, Robert, tell us about what you do and who you actually do it for.
Yeah, I work with small business owners primarily, really helping them be able to find $100,000 of hidden revenue in their business and really be able to create the systems and the processes they need to be able to help them be able to realize that kind of money. So I come from the leadership space in terms of really helping business owners to be able to figure out how they need to be able to make their business work.
Wow, sounds fabulous. And actually, just in full transparency, Robert is part of our advisory community. So today is not a pitch at all. We're just going to have some meaningful conversation. So Robert, you said that small business owners, they hire you to find them, and you mentioned $100,000 of revenue, and you implement systems. Like, what personal experience actually led you to want to help the small business owner in that way?
Oh my gosh. I really want to see people flourish. And I really feel that small business owners have the ability to make the most impact in our world. I mean, there's, I think 37 million small businesses in the US. And so just to be able to help them to be able to make the impact they're trying to make, I think that's so exhilarating.
Wow. So what personal experiences, Robert, have actually shaped you in the way that you actually lead today?
Oh gosh. I think that just with anybody who owns a small business really understands just the ebbs and flows. I mean, there's the highs, there's the joys of really being able to have your business and be able to have that kind of, the impact that you can make on the world, as well as the freedom that having a small business has. But what I find so many small business owners deal with, Malcolm, I find that so many of them are just lost. I mean, they are really stuck in trying to run their business, and they're chained to it. Wow. I find so many of them are really at the point that they've created this business, and now their life serves the business instead of having it the other way around.
That's a valid point. You know, what I'm hearing you say is, people, first of all, congratulations to every person that has the courage to jump out of there and start a new business, right? Congratulations to you. And what I'm hearing Robert say, which is a very important point, is so many of you start the business and then you have to reshape your life to fit this thing that you've created versus there was a reason why you started this business. And typically, Robert, and they want, financial freedom and time freedom to create memories with their family. So instead of being intentional about creating a business that serves them, they do the opposite. And then next thing you know, they've fallen out of love with the very thing that they wanted to do. Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely. I mean, and so many business owners are just kind of trapped in that, Malcolm. I mean, you see it, I see it. And so that being able to really help them come out of that, I mean, that's so exhilarating, because you get to see the real impact of what's happening in their lives and their families, just being able to get that time back. For example, Malcolm, I was one of my clients. They are a couple of attorneys that own their own practice together.
Okay.
And when I started working with them, they really said they didn't have any time to spend with each other.
Oh, wow.
Or their special needs son. And just by installing a few strategies, just basic things, they were able to actually put iron bars around their schedule to be able to really get that time with each other, even take their special needs son to Disney World. I mean, it was a life-changing experience for them. And it was so gratifying for me in the process.
It sounds that way. I mean, when you're able to have the privilege and honor of being a part of helping a family, right? Which is these small business owners are families, right? They're the bedrock of our economy. And to play a role in helping them realize that, I mean, I can imagine, I can see why that would be fulfilling. Speaking of family, I mean, you're a family guy, right? Has this journey, people think that, hey, you're successful, right? You've been in business X number of years. Did things just happen like that for you? Were you handed a silver spoon, or like what were some of the challenges that you had to face, and how did that impact, you and your family along your way?
Oh gosh. Yeah. So Malcolm, I think, as you know, I mean, that being a small business owner was very difficult for me before I joined our community. That I found it to be I found more frustration than joy. But since being part of our community, I've really been able to see my business get a lot more stability, and then be able to then share that stability with other people, helping them be able to unlock the same kind of things that I've been able to unlock with my business. So and that's one thing that I just is really excited about, because it's like, these are like Malcolm, I eat my own cooking. I mean, I actually install these strategies in my own business, which has actually completely transformed my business. So I'm able to share that with other people as a result.
So, yeah, but I want to talk about, and thank you for that. What I want to talk about, though, is the struggles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what were some of the specific challenges that you had to overcome, right? What was that one thing that kept you stuck, maybe made you want to give up? And when you were in that particular space of your life, how did it impact you and your family?
Gosh. There's so many things that I just didn't know as a business owner. And it's just that, and until I really kind of was able to discover some of these secrets and some of these practices that transformed my business. I mean, I remember just really having some major struggles, just trying to figure out, how do I get customers? I mean, that was real, man. That was hard. I mean, I could get some clients, periodically. I mean, I could get some really nice paying clients, but it's few and far between. It was feast and famine. Oh man, those days were hard.
Like how? What made them hard? Like without having predictable income, what made that difficult for you and your family?
Oh my gosh, because it's like, I mean, not knowing when the next client was going to come in, not having that kind of predictable income, not having that kind of consistency, that's hard. I mean, when it's like, okay, how am I going to be able to provide for my family? That's real. I mean, so I remember those days. That was not fun.
So other than, high level, I learned some new strategies and I changed. I mean, like, if you can share something very specific that you had to unlearn in order to grow, what was that? Something specific you had to unlearn in order for you to grow to where you are today.
I think one of the biggest things I had to unlearn was underpricing my value. That I did not understand just how much my time, my knowledge, my experience was worth. And so I undersold myself tremendously. And so that was one thing I had to learn. It was just really realizing that I can stand in what I know, that I can stand in what I have to offer. That was that was definitely one thing I had to overcome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of small business owners today that struggle with the same thing. I mean, it's like, I'm barely getting a client. I'm barely surviving. How do I charge more when with what I'm charging now, people aren't saying yes? Like, what would you say to someone like that?
Mm. So in terms of being able to, if they don't know where they're getting their next clients from, and then how to be able to get those clients, uh, making sure they're really understanding what is the problem their prospect has that they don't want. Really being able to dive into, okay, what is that struggle they're dealing with? And then how do they then be able to then provide the solution that they want, that they just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so, or how to be able to find it. So be able to speak the language of their prospects in a way that speaks to their emotional situation. That's a way to differentiate ourselves and then be able to, charge very handsomely for that, because we are speaking the language they have, that they want to be spoken to in, and then be able to then show the differentiation that we can be able to provide
Yeah.
in terms of that kind of language.
That reminds me of a situation I was in where I happened to know someone who was on the committee of who would hire speakers for this particular association, right? So because I knew them, they kind of told me what, the range that people were, the fees that they were asking for. So when I submitted my application, I'm like, I got this, and I undercut them. I think whatever my fee was, but here was the lesson I learned. I didn't get the gig, Robert. And here's why I didn't get the gig. I asked them what happened. Why didn't I get the gig? They said, because your price point was so low, the committee didn't feel comfortable that you could deliver what our audience need. They're used to, they equate your fee with a bigger result. And so speaking to what you just said, that was a lesson for me. When you charge low or no fees, what you're saying to the world is that you don't even value your own product or service that you're offering. So that was a valuable lesson. So Robert, I'd like to know, so when clients come to you, what is it that they say they want, but in reality, what is it that they really need underneath of that?
Oh gosh. Clients are coming to me saying, well, I want to be able to make more revenue. Well, that's nice. But it really is like, what's that going to do for you? If we're having that additional revenue, what is really the desire underneath that? But really understanding where they want to go. That's so important, because once I understand where they want to go and what they want to be able to do with their life, what do they want their business to accomplish? Once we understand that, okay, then it's like we can actually get there and we'll be able to help them get what they want.
That's huge. Audience, I really want you to focus in on, he dropped a nice, big, juicy piece of information for us. Here's what he said. People say, I want more money. That's what they think they really want. But underneath all that, they want a more fulfilled life. They believe that having more money will put them in a position where they can free up their time. And then now they can go spend time with their loved ones, create memories, and do things for them. That's valuable. So knowing that, Robert, how does that shape how you help and support the small business owners, and or I'll talk about that later, and or the business coaches and advisors that you support?
Yeah. So really understanding what is their number one goal. What do they want to be able to get out of life? That becomes the North Star for everything that we do.
Yeah.
So that, because I'm not here to impose my particular direction on them. I'm all about helping them get to where they want to go. And so understanding that then takes the shape of everything. So like one of my clients working with, they really just want to be able to spend more time with each other. They run a dance studio together, and they feel like they don't have enough time with each other. Okay, so that's the thing every time. Okay, how can you then be able to teach more of your instructors to be able to run the studio without you? And then be able to push them more towards that, so they can be able to get more of their time to be able to spend with their young family, so they can then be able to enjoy more of the business of what it provides.
Yeah, leverage. That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, most business owners are really good at that thing they do, right? They're really good at being an attorney, or they're really good at making smoothies, but then running the business itself, a lot of them have a challenge. So they're out there working really hard like they would work in a job, right? And so that balance a lot of times is out of the way. So speaking of this, Robert, you successfully, as a business coach advisor, helping the small business owner, but then you also, because of the same struggles that, you being a business coach, you saw the struggles other business coaches struggle with. And so you started and expanded your business by now helping other coaches, consultants, and service-based professionals to grow business, sort of like the advisor for the advisor, right? So by helping the advisor that's now helping the small business owner, how is that helping you make a bigger impact?
Oh my gosh. I love the fact that now I'm helping not only with my clients, I'm helping the coaches that I have been advising how they can then be able to make an impact. So it certainly then spreads it out even further. I feel like I'm able to give even more back now. I'm able to make more of an impact and help more families be able to get what they want out of life and make sure that their communities and their businesses and their families are being served better. So I love that.
So now let me talk about the thing no one really talks about, especially in your industry, right? You're in the business coaching and consulting industry. That industry has a bad name. I mean, just like you hear, people have bad, connotations about attorneys, or they say used car salesman, in the coaching industry, people, they feel that they've, I know I've been burned, other people feel like they've been burned. Coaches are showing up and doing all kinds of things that are just not okay. So what's the deal with that? Like, what's your take on the business coaching industry being that way? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, it's the fact is that anybody can say they're a coach, and that really is distressing. The fact that there's really nothing out there that's being able to say, hey, this person is a good coach. So, I mean, for those of you who are out there really looking for somebody to help you, it's like, I need some help into this. Really just find out what's their track record. I mean, what have they been able to do? Making sure that you are doing your due diligence to find out, is this person credible? I mean, do they have a reputation of being associated with others that are actually making an impact? So I think that's so important, Malcolm, just because I think that, as you said, coaches or advisors or whatever within the business realm, it's unregulated. You really don't know what you're getting until you really start diving into what kind of track record do they have.
Yeah. So what kind of trends are you starting to see that's shaping, the business coaching or consulting industry in a way that allows that hardworking family or that small business owner to be able to actually get the real help and support that they want and desire? Like, are there any trends you're seeing?
Well, I think everybody knows about AI and how that's been impacting everything. I think right there, in terms of the whole advising field, I mean, that's transforming everything. And that we're able to then serve so much better than we were able to before because of this whole innovation within the economy. Also, just the fact that we have a whole shift in terms of people recognizing that we got a lot of people who are trying to start new businesses right now. A lot because of the whole thing with COVID. We're still seeing everybody saying, well, I can start a business. I mean, and so now we're finding a lot of people are just really struggling because as a result, they found out, well, this is not as easy as I thought it was. So like you were saying there, Malcolm, earlier, the fact that people are saying that, well, I can do this. I worked for somebody else. I can do this, but they didn't realize that in the process of bringing themselves as the smoothie maker or the attorney or whatever, they brought themselves with them. And unfortunately, that person didn't always know how to run a business. They were a great practitioner of their craft, but not necessarily a good business runner. So that's one thing I've seen a lot of happening as well. So people recognizing that they need help within how to run their business, but making sure they are actually getting the right help that they need from someone who has actually the kind of credentials to be able to do that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, as consumers are smarter. I think that's a good thing. And as you mentioned, you have AI, you have your phone. Like, think about if you're feeling certain ailments, you go to your phone and you go in and you do some research and you're like, oh, it could be this. So when you go to your doctor, you can have a different or more meaningful, educated conversation. Well, what I'm hearing the same thing is in the coaching industry is that, people are using technology. Business owners are using AI, they're using research tools to get some answers so that when they talk to the expert, a lot of times they're just looking to see, is this person really an expert? Because they got some information. They're armed already with some type of, information on what they are looking to accomplish. So, that will expose a lot of people. And I believe it's a good thing to start separating, the real from the fake guru. And I think that's wonderful. With that in mind, Robert, before we close, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw a few just rapid fire questions at you. Okay. So I just want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. You ready?
Let's go for it.
Organized or messy?
Oh, I am both.
Rapid. All right. Morning person or night owl?
Oh, I have been both. Right now, I'm a morning person.
What's one habit, Robert, that keeps you grounded?
Oh, gosh. I read scripture every day.
All right, cool. What about a book or a quote that has shaped your perspective?
Let's see. A book or a quote that has shaped my perspective.
Yes.
I'll say, let's see. Here's one quote that's been something as I think is powerful. Defeats are poison to some men. Great men have become mediocre because of the inability to accept and abide by a defeat. If you are to achieve success as a man or superior qualities as a man, chances are it will be because of the manner in which you met defeats that will come to you as they come to everyone.
Wow, Robert. With that's a mic drop, my friend. That is a mic drop. This has been so much fun. I know that our audience has walked away with some practical things that they can benefit from, Robert. Hey, listen, everyone. If this episode has made you just rethink a little bit or think at all about your operation model or the way that you're doing things, don't just binge. I want you to build. The way you build is by taking massive action now. And massive action means this. If you only get 1% better each week, at the end of the year, even if you took 2 weeks off, you're 67% better than what you were when you got started. All right. So listen, go do something important. Make someone smile today. And if, again, you found value, subscribe, share it with your friends, and we will see you on the next episode. Have an amazing rest of your day. Robert, it's been so fun to talk to you. Thanks so much.